Shalom. I want to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to the awfully elect that is pushing this word in the four corners, the highways and byways. Once again, all praises, glory, and honor is due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Right? Brother Zakaria here with another lesson. And this lesson gonna be based around the major prophecy, or you could say the biggest prophecy that we're waiting on or yet to come, right? Might be a little bit debatable, but it's concerning the MOTB, all right, which is a major prophecy. Can't emphasize it strong enough, because I don't believe it's one of those prophecy that you could get wrong, right? There's too much at stake with the prophecy, right? There's not a breakdown you could really afford to get wrong, because it could lead you straight to destruction. All right. Hey, and at this point, 2025, December 22nd, whatever it is, right? 21st, December 21st, right? Hey, everybody pretty much know at this point that the MOT to the B is indeed the CIP, all right? The micro CIP, right? Right, which gonna be the next step of what we're seeing right now with the everybody's transitioning to the electronic ID, right? Eventually they're gonna say, hey, we are upgraded it. It's now smaller. It goes under your skin. You can't lost it the way. Things like that, right? Because with this new electronic ID, it's easier, right, to miss Salakia. It's easier, because you get everything in one under one ID, right? Under one ID card. However, it's also more difficult, because if you lost the ID card now, you're basically shut out from everything. They're gonna make it whereby if you don't have that on you, you're gonna get shut out, right? And in this flesh, right, as it is said, we are humans. You're gonna forget sometimes. Some people gonna lose their own, right? And they're gonna be momentarily shut out from society, and they're not gonna want to have an experience like that again. So what? They're gonna take the CIP, whenever they come around, right? So Esau basically setting a play right now. Esau quarterbacking this entire thing, right? This is not just a global coincidence that everybody is switching to electronic ID, right? And the best part about it, when you look at TikTok, you look at Facebook, social media, everything, conspiracy theorists, the common man, all right, a lot of religious people, they already know that the MOTB, which is to say the mark of the beast, is the microchip, right? So now which brings me to, these Israelites, so-called Hebrew Israelites, who are not teaching that the MOTB is the Sheep. That could be proven very costly for y'all. All right? Because there is a prophecy that you need to get right. Right? And, I'm just, well, what's the correct word to use? Hey, basically is how in hell these are, conspiracy theorists, right? And a lot of common men and women could already understand that this electronic ID, which is going to lead to the C-HIP, right, which is going to become the microchip, is indeed the MOTB. But a lot of Israelites, a lot of Hebrew Israelites don't believe it. Right? There are even Israelites who don't teach from the New Testament, which is that's beyond crazy. Come on, bro. You leading Yahweh Hashem Yahushai flock to stray, right? You're leading them to the slaughter, right? No, the scripture does say only the elect will get it, right? So, hey, hopefully this video reach the elect, is able to convince, at least one elect, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai. Because these words are not our words, all right? Neither do we deserve any of this praise. It all goes back to Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, right? So don't ever get it twisted. Don't think this is about you. Don't ever think that way, right? We just been blessed, been fortunate for the Most High to open our eyes to see, all right? And to water Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai for that. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai open our eyes that we could see what the mark of the beast is, all right? So that you can understand these prophecies, all right? And I'm speaking primarily to the brothers of GMS, Great Millstone, right? Right? Hey, Tawada Yahweh Shamim Shai. Right, but no further ado, let me get to the precept. It's Revelation 13 and 16. And he caused it all, both small and great. Right, caused it all, both small and great, because in this little country here in Guyana, right, which is a small country, of all allegedly under 1 million population, right? We seeing that they're already making steps to get the MOTB in place, right? They're already rolling out electronic ID here. And one of the things that was supposed to happen over here is that the government was supposed to give out 100,000 cash grant. 100,000 cash grant. And what ended up happening is that they push back the cash grant to 2026, which me and them brothers over here, we believe that the only reason they did that was to give out the cash grant basically when they're ready to roll out the electronic ID, basically use it as an incentive to roll out to get the electronic ID, right? And we believe it's gonna be the same for the micro CIP. They're gonna insensitize the nations to take it, right? And some countries, some people, some demographic, you don't have to put an incentive on it. They're gonna just go and take it. They see it as a blessing, a technological advancement and these kind of stuff, right? Let me read this again, Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, right? And the mark is what? Again, the mark of the beast, which is the micro CIP, right? And it does say on or forehead, but really and truly, that thing could go anyway. You still get it, right? Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Right, so when you read this precept properly, you break it down properly, the only thing that fits the description is the micro CIP, which they're gonna put all your banking information, your health information, every important information for you to operate in this kingdom, right? In this queendom, in this society, they're gonna attach it to that CIP, right? So that becomes your way of plugging into the system. And like it says, that no man may buy or sell, save or except he that had the mark. So if you don't take it, then you won't be able to operate in this society, right? Just like what we having right now with the electronic ID, right? They're rolling it out here. They said it's important because for non-citizens persons, they need to be able to track them and things like that. But that also mean that you could track the citizens, ain't it? Right? So, like I said, Esau part the back end display, but you're doing a sloppy job. We could see through everything. Hey, who see who don't see, hey, to hell with them. All right, to hell with them. Yep, but like you said, he calls it all both small and great, right? So basically, when they start mandating laws that without this electronic ID, which is going to become the CIP, without you don't have it, you can't buy or sell, you can't have a job. A lot of people is going to line up to take it, and that's how, that is basically the major way he's going to cause all to receive the mark, right? Except the election, of course, right? Except those men, women, and children that was elected to be saved in these days, right? But For the rest of the populace, the masses, they're gonna take it, right? You know, like the movie Matrix. You know, it gonna only be a few. Zion gonna only be a few, right? But everybody that is plugged into the system, you know, but everybody that take it is gonna be plugged into the system. They're gonna be working, you know, having kids, just living life as per normal, like we see in the movie, right? Yep. Continuing, it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, right? You know, which is pretty much all the same thing, right? You're gonna have to be plugged into the system. Right, and you're gonna have to take the C-hip. Verse 18. That's, you know, take the C-hip if you want to be a part of the system, right? If you want to continue to have your job, right? If you want to continue to receive medical support, health care, these kind of things, right? That is what is coming, right? Don't even be mistaken about it. All right, a tattoo, embargo, doctrine, all these things, they're not the MOTB, right? They're part of the beast system, yes, but they're not the mark of the beast, you know? Verse 18, here is wisdom, let him that had understanding count the number of the beast, right? Yeah, let him that have understanding, because not everybody would understand this, you know? Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600 and 6, which is 666, right? Or Shai stigma, which I believe is the Greek or Latin, right? You know, hey, and our elders, our apostles, they brought out videos on this many times, right? That the word mark right there in these few verses goes into charagma, which means a prick or an imprint. You know, I don't have the blue letter or the my sword right now to go into it, right? But yeah, right, the men of GMS, we've been saying this for years, right? A lot of people are now catching on, which is good. You know, it's good, it's very good. You know, the Most High prophecy is fulfilling, and we just thankful to the Most High for it, right? But at the same time, we still have to continue bringing out this word and correcting other Hebrew Israelite camps that going off on it, right? So with that, don't get it mistaken. The mark of the beast is 100% the micro C hip. All right. So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and sanitation to the old elect. Say Shalom.